Welcome to JayzTwoCents exclusive insider coverage of CES 2014. Our trip this year is brought to you by Aqua Tuning, your global source for PC modding and cooling components, and by Sennheiser, the pursuit of perfect sound, and of course, by generous viewers like you. So strap in with JayzTwoCents as he takes you on a wild ride through CES 2014.
Hey guys, you're watching JayzTwoCents, and we're continuing our exclusive insider coverage of CES 2014. And I'm still in the ROG booth here for the ASUS suite, and we're going to take a look at something that I think you guys might find really interesting. You guys are always asking me about different types of controls for your fans and other aspects of your system. So JJ is going to show us something here that I think is really unique. I really don't know much about it. I mean, we talked about it a little bit right now, but I'm going to turn it over to JJ and let him tell you why what we're looking at here is considered really awesome. So JJ, take it away.
Yeah, so what we have right here is actually the ROG Front Base, so it's something that we've been working on for a while. If you've kind of been following ASUS motherboards for a couple of years, one of the big focal points on the design front has been our evolution of fan controls. We're really the first vendor that committed to saying, hey, if you're going to have fan headers on a board, we want extensive functionality. It's not just about being able to plug it in and have power. We want to be able to go in, customize fan profile curves. We want to be able to set,
and 3-pin fan, non-PWM friendly.
Exactly. Yeah, we want to be able to have that flexibility and support. And so that's become now a standard, right? Whether you're looking at our X79, our Z87, even our AMD motherboards, we're giving you the absolute best class of fan controls. But for some users, they want even more flexibility, as well as they might want something that aesthetically looks cool. So we started off on Z87 with this little guy right here, which was the OC panel. And this guy's actually just started to hit the market. And this was originally only provided with our Maximus 6 Extreme. And it gave a lot of specialized functionality, such as being able to dynamically adjust the voltage or the BCLK or the multiplier. You could see your postcode display information when your system was starting up.
I really like the adjustable display on here, so you could lay it flat on your desk. You could set it in the stand.
And you had, even more esoteric levels of controls for users that wanted to, do benchtop testing. They could plug in fans directly into there. They could go ahead and do some soldering so that they could have advanced voltage control, so they could overclock their GPUs even more effectively, and a lot of other specialized controls. Now, the cool part was we made this a dual type setup, so that you could go ahead and take this guy, dock it into this right here, and then put that in a 5 1/4 bay. And then you could have, one-touch adjustment for your CPU fan, one-touch overclocking. You could see your CPU temperatures and voltages and whatnot. But what we wanted to do was even evolve this further. And so that's what we've actually done here with the front base. So if we take a look at the front base, we've moved over from a basic display to an actual full 4-inch LCD, which you can see is carrying a lot of information that we have on there. So we're getting everything from our CPU frequency to the RPM data to the CPU temperatures. We can make adjustments to our volume. So, if you've got your system maybe positioned down on the floor, I've got a big TJ07 as one of my primary chassis. I wouldn't have it on my desk. Right. So, although you could quick access that on your keyboard, maybe depending on your layout, maybe you want that functionality there. We've got that incorporated in there. But another element that's really nice about this is how we're taking audio into consideration. One of the things that a lot of people have noticed on our boards for a couple of generations now is our Supreme Effects audio design, or the red line as sometimes people call it. Now, what sometimes people don't realize is that the cable quality that you have inside of a chassis, it's fairly subpar. And that's just, it's the semantics of the industry, where, sometimes lower cost has to be considered into what the cable manufacturers are putting into the chassis, and that ends up affecting the dB output. It brings in noise. It brings
which you're mentioning is a really good point. A lot of people don't realize when you use front panel headers for audio, a lot of the times that hiss that you hear is coming from that line. Not if you were to take your headphone and hook it to the rear of the computer directly to the motherboard, a lot of that noise is gone.
It could disappear, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's multiple factors, of course.
How does it interface with the motherboard? Is it USB 3.0?
No, and that's actually the cool thing. So if you take a look here down on the board, if you're able to see it, maybe we can get some B-roll and you guys can cut it in there. But this board features our isolated redline audio design, and that includes the front audio connection. So we've gone ahead and used the same front audio connection that you would normally use for your chassis, but instead we're connecting that directly to the front base. So one, we get that improvement in sound because of that isolated design, and we've also given you a fully shielded cable that also is 2 strands directly for the left and for the right channel. So
so it's not going to pick up, like we have it running across the PCI Express power right here, it's not going to pick up any interference from that.
It's exactly. We're going to get a much better experience. So, if you've got a nice set of cans, Plus, you've got a great board that's got great sound on it. You can actually take much better advantage of it. So this is really a combination piece. It's about giving you something that looks cool, it's functional, but also gives you definite benefits as a gamer because you're going to get better sound quality. Plus, you also get some cool levels of functionality here. We've got some switches on here, so you can go ahead and do some one-touch overclocking. There's an actual escape function, so that if maybe you want to quick drop out a game.
Can you switch between OC profiles in the BIOS through there?
You can assign an OC profile that would be linked in there. So in that respect, you can make an adjustment to that, but it would be only for one profile specifically. In addition to that, of course, you can make adjustments to the fan RPMs, settings that are in there as well. So a lot of functionality we're bringing in. Of course, lastly, we even got a quick charge USB port. So you got a tablet, smartphone, something like that you want to be able to quick charge plug into, you're good to go.
And you said this is already available on the market?
It's going to be coming very soon. But definitely before the end of Q1. Right now, we're just finalizing the last couple of things in terms of the firmware and the software package because it is a combination of both in terms of getting everything to work right. But it will work with any one of our Z87 series boards that has essentially the OC panel header, as well as boards like our Rampage 4 Black Edition.
So there you go, guys. Right, we're looking at here the ROG Front Base here from ASUS. If you've got one of their Z87 ROG motherboards, and what was the name of the header again? I'm sorry.
The OC panel header.
The OC panel header. You can control just about every aspect of your computer here, and it's a really nice looking display. It's really sharp, and it aesthetically looks really pleasing. So, guys, you've been asking me about how to control your motherboards. If you have an ROG motherboard, check and see if this is going to be available for you. As always, guys, make sure you're following us on Twitter here for all of your insider coverage at CES 2014. And as always, I will see you in my next video.